From the early Christian church and the Council of Nicea of 325, European church history focused on doctrine. Europeans spilled a lot of ink and a lot of blood on the finer details of what statements one ought to affirm. Even today, the notion that one's religion is defined by the affirmation of statements is still widespread. The social function of religion is group cohesion. Who's with you? Who can you trust? Europeans used doctrine as a litmus test for who was us and who was them. But in 17th century England, the us-them litmus test shifted. It was less about doctrine than church governance. Episcopal polity, ruled by the bishops, and Presbyterian polity, ruled by groups of elders called presbyters, squared off. Along with polity differences were differences in form of worship, free worship or liturgical worship, prescribed prayer or voluntary prayer, clerical vestments, different elements in the worship services. Doctrinal matters, though, were largely ignored. In the 1640s, the English Parliament made Presbyterianism the polity and worship form of the Church of England, but this was not much enforced. 1660 brought the restoration of the throne under Charles II. The Presbyterians, who tended to be royalists, had high hopes, but Charles soon declared, "Presbyterianism is no religion for a gentleman," and returned the Church of England to episcopal polity and forms. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, doctrinal innovations were spreading. People were, more or less in secret, reading and circulating books by Fausto Sozzini and John Biddle. In 1687, 25 years after John Biddle's death, one Stephen Nye published a history of the Unitarians called also Socinians. It launched the Unitarian controversy that raged through the Church of England, bringing attention again to doctrinal means of distinguishing us from them.